With that said, let's get our guest speaker up here. Ladies and gentlemen, we're so happy to have her back. We're so glad the Lord had let her come back, and she's out here. She's writing a book, and she's just about finished the book, and she's got the final touches on that. She has her own clothing line. She took her family on a cruise. Now, see, that's some of the blessings and the benefit of getting here at ACM. And she hails from Southern California. Well, let's see, from let's see the valley. That's by the ocean over there. But I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. She also has a beautiful place up in the mountains up there in Montana, and she's got this oven out there, that pizza oven that's amazing. So without further ado, can we give warm welcome to the Regional Vice President, Miss Jocelyn Driskill?
Good morning. Good to see all of you and those bright, shiny faces. And Mr. Thomas, thank you so much for having me here. I truly feel blessed to be a part of this always. And getting your message last night just affirms what God has to do today through us. So I'm grateful to be here. Looking forward to what you're bringing in May. That's fantastic. You guys are in for a huge treat on this channel that Mr. Thomas is so clearly running anointing. His anointing is huge here. So I'm just grateful for all of that. And of course, Mr. Jabri Clemens on the back end, always grateful for you, sir. Thank you so much for all you do for each and every one of us. We love you. So thank you. So it's great to see all your faces. I'm ready to hit the road here and get going and share what we have to share with all of your spirits today. As I do always, I pray over it, and God is always faithful to what he wants to share. So here we go. Are you guys ready? Ready. All right. So we're going to dive into a topic that I think to finish out the month of April will be a great one. It's about powering up, not just your business and all of that, but to really have a successful business. It's powering up your faith. And that, I see Mrs. Deborah over there with her growth shirt or t-shirt or whatever it is. And that's a part of this message today, which is not ironic, right? So power up your faith, grow and go in strength. You can see that boxing glove, and I'm ending with this today, this message in that boxing glove, because that book, the book that's God has been writing through me, is coming out. It's coming out, and we're shattering the glass. And that's why I put that there, because all of you, it's time for you to take that glove and shatter that glass. There's a song called Shattered Glass by, oh gosh, he's a country artist. I'll think of it soon, but YouTube it or whatever and listen to it. I will tell you, my husband called me up as I was coming home from a big event. I was doing multiple events back to back, like Mr. Thomas has been doing, and on the road and out there in Alabama. I can't wait to come back to Nashville and Alabama. You can hold me to that one. I will be there when you're ready. But he called me up and he said, I have a song that's for you, and it's called Shattered Glass. And when I walked through the door after going through a long weekend, or during the week, I can't even remember when it was, I was down in Southern California, he put on that song and he danced with me. And it brings me to tears. I don't want to go too far into it, but it's a great song. It's a guy singing it for his wife or his girlfriend, but I want all of you to look at it as me telling you to get out there and get that glove and grow and go in strength and shatter the glass, because another one is on its way. Miracle after miracle after miracle. It's on its way for you. Who am I talking to? It's on its way for you. And you can do it in so many areas of your life. But I'm going to share this video. It's about 5 minutes. It'll go really quickly. So get your notepad ready, because it's Pastor Furtick and Brendan Burchard again in an interview. And it is all about this. But I will break it down a little bit further after you listen to it. but I want you to hear it first. And so here we go.
Let's talk about separating your confidence from your feelings, because that can be so dangerous.
Yeah. I imagine when you think about Gideon, you imagine him in this wine press, and I'll give you this framework for what's going on in his head maybe, because we trap ourselves a lot. And I always use this metaphor of we zap our success, which means it's just an acronym, ZAP. We zap our success. And you'll notice your thoughts do this. You have momentum, you feel good, and then zap, it disappears because you're like, what happened to my confidence? What's wrong with me? What happens with zap is ZAP. Z stands for zoom. We zoom in to a problem and we catastrophize. We zoom in and we worry. If I take action, I'll be ruined, I'll be rejected, I won't be able to handle the responsibility, or I'll regret it. So I'm just gonna stay right here in this wine press, because if I go out there, I'm gonna get killed.
I'm gonna slow you down and give us the 4 R's again, because I think those are very big. Will you do them again?
Yeah, our 4 primary big fears that prevent action. The first one is ruin, which we just believe if I do something, that's gonna ruin my reputation, that's gonna ruin my opportunities, that's gonna ruin, my ability to get ahead. Then we go, oh, well, I'm worried if I take action, people will reject me. I'll be ostracized, I'll be abandoned, they won't understand. Then we fear responsibility, which is the one most people forget. It's like, we're scared of more responsibility. If you get in that responsibility, I'm not gonna be able to handle it. I don't know if myself, I'll burn out, I'll freak out, I'll have too much anxiety and stress. I don't want the responsibilities. It's too much to bear. And then we fear regret. Well, if I do take action and it doesn't go well, I'll always regret I made that decision to trust her. I'll always regret I made that decision to try that thing. I'll always regret. And that's the form of catastrophizing that we have in a problem. We just zoom in, oh my gosh, there's gonna be ruin, there's gonna be rejection, I can't handle it, and I'll regret it forever. Why would you take action after that? And then A is we attach ourself to it. This problem is me. This circumstance that I don't like is me. I'm the problem, I'm the same. We make our psychology the same as the problem. And we forget that our personhood is bigger than the problem. And that the problem is not permanent. The problem is placed there to challenge us to rise above it. And then the P, what we do is, so we've zoomed in and catastrophized. We've attached ourselves to it, so we feel insecure. And now we procrastinate, or we pause, or we punish. What that means is we say, oh, well, I just don't want to do it because, and we start telling ourselves all these stories about why we're procrastinating. Well, I don't have enough resources, or this is going on, or that's going on. Then we punish ourselves. It's weird. Like, we're scared because we've catastrophized and we don't feel enough. So now we do all these weird things to punish ourselves. We overeat. We get addicted. We turn to video games all day long. Nothing against video games, but all day long, we go into social media and we scroll because we're uncomfortable. And we're doing these behaviors that are not moving anything forward. Mm. And like we talked about in previous sessions, you have to learn to flip that thing. Instead of zooming in and catastrophizing, we zoom in and we ask, what if? What if God actually has my back here and I am being challenged to grow into more of his glory? Mm. What if instead of, attaching myself to it, I attach spirit to it? Mm-hmm. Instead of me taking it personally, what if I recognize it's part of the world and it's part of a plan that I don't understand? And instead of pausing then, I kind of power up in his faith. Yeah. And I power up and I go, okay, I know that I have been given these tools. Mm. I've been given his faith, his words. And he said, did I not command you? Yeah. And so he's saying, did I not command you? Yeah. This is in front of your life. You didn't want it there, but I put it there. Yeah. Yeah. And then you have to go, oh, and it gives you a different edge. Mm-hmm. And this is what you always have to realize when you're facing a problem in life. And when you're thinking about this, is God fighting for me or not? If you believe God is fighting for you, you have an edge. Mm-hmm. Just like when you were sitting in the car wondering, are my pants too tight? Am I gonna do a good job in the sermon today? What's happening there is you're going to insecurity. Yeah. And I always want you to hear, it's like, am I feeling insecure about something? Or do I feel the edge? The edge is like a forward lean, it's a confidence. And the funny thing, it's the same acronym. It's still ZAP, but now I'm zooming into the opportunity.
Good, right? Great, right? Was that talking to some of you? So separating your confidence from your feelings. What confidence level are you sitting at right now? Right? Are you invincible? Are you strong, steady? Maybe you're in, we should all be in the building mode, building that confidence and continuing. That for me, I look at confidence as Godfidence. It comes from the Spirit. Or maybe some of you are just fair in confidence, and it's time to get building that confidence, building that strength, and going and growing through it. So he talked about zapping your success. That Z. You could take a picture of this screen. That might help you as you go over this down the road. Keep going over these things, because it's really important that you understand you're enough. You have everything that it takes to be successful and whatever it is you choose to do. But here in ACN, anybody can do this, but you got to get this stuff out of the way. And I love how he broke that down as zap. So you zoom in. So one of the things you're zapping your success, right? And you're zooming in. We zoom into the problem instead of the solution, right? We zoom into the problem and we catastrophize. And I wanted to look up so that I could give you the direct meaning of catastrophizing, what we do when we're zooming in on all the problems instead of the solutions. And we spoke of that last week, right? So catastrophizing is to think, I wrote it down, to think about the worst things that could possibly happen in a situation. Is that you, or do you know people that do this? We all have them in our life, and sometimes it is ourselves, right? We have to really look at, take the microscope and look at it a little bit so that we can get better. That 1% better I talk about. When we can see the problem, we can really recognize it, then we can do something about it. So to think about the worst things that could possibly happen in a situation, or to consider a situation, or to consider a situation as much worse or much more serious than it really is. You think about kids, the dramatics that come with children, right? And how, when they're little and, oh my gosh, the smallest thing is the biggest thing to them. I have my grandkids, 7, 9, and 15. And it's different for each one of them, right? There's 2 girls that are on either side of the boy in the middle. And man, they're catastrophizing. There's a lot of catastrophizing. We call it drama, right? And we're making things bigger than they really are. So that's zooming in. And when you zoom in, the 4 things that he talked about, the 4 R's, which the first one is ruin, right? Ruin. If I do something, for instance, like ACN, if you do something, it will ruin my reputation. That couldn't be more farther from the truth. It will make your reputation better. But the things that we think, that catastrophizing, the things we make up in our head and make it bigger than it really is, and we miss out on so many opportunities because we do this, and we have to stop it, right? Stop. That's a stop sign. The next thing he talks about is rejection, right? Reject. So we worry, worry doesn't get us anywhere. All it does is get us more worry and anxiety, and all of that doesn't come from God. If that's happening to you, that's not it's from the other place. And you got to get the worry out so that you find peace in the journey that you're doing. And that is what my book is all about. So I can't wait. God's got it. It's ready to go. So rejection. So you worry about maybe people will reject me, or rejection that whatever that rejection is to you. And again, rejection of no. Are you afraid of a no? Why? That goes back to zooming in on the problem, and that is not a problem. No is a not now. It's timing. Timing is everything. So understand, don't look at these 4 R's anymore. You got to get rid of them, but understand when you're leading and you're working with people, this will come up. And it's our goal as leaders to help others get on the other side of this. Responsibility. Maybe you are scared of the responsibility. You don't want it. Well, we're adults. Responsibility is part of being an adult, right? We have to take on the responsibility. Whatever happens in life. You guys, a lot of you know my life in the last year, there's a lot of responsibility on my shoulders, but yet I know who's bigger, and the responsibility I can handle, I can get through because I do it differently than most. And my Godfidence, not the confidence in me, not the confidence in my humanism, but the confidence in him that has me. So I can take on the responsibility. He doesn't give you any more than you can handle. And sometimes you feel like it's overwhelming sometimes. I know, okay? And the fourth R is regret. If I do take action and it doesn't work out. Well, the thing is, we focus on these things, and why would you live in regret? What if the good side? Why are we focused on the bad? And what if this could happen and that could happen? Holy cow, if we lived in all of those things, we are truly going to regret not taking action, because the thing is, action creates results. So if you're moving forward and you're taking responsibility and you're not putting the rejection in front of you, and you're not looking at the ruin, like the problem versus the solution, you guys, that's the 4 R's. And this is so powerful. And if you can understand it and take it and apply it to your life every day, you're going to get on the other side of success. So then we go back to the A, attach, right? So that's attaching ourselves to the problem versus the solution, feeling insecure and all of those things, okay? It's a part of what we just talked about in the 4 R's. And then the P, procrastinate. Oh my gosh, procrastination. My mom will tell you that she's the greatest procrastinator and that I didn't learn that from her, because I don't procrastinate. She's like, you are the less procrastinate person I've ever seen in my life. So I guess I got that from my dad. But procrastination is a killer. Putting off what you can do today, and you say mañana, tomorrow, don't do it. That's a killer. Or you pause, you take a second, and sometimes it's okay to pause. You have to pause sometimes, take a deep breath, and then keep going, right? But there's a difference in those types of pauses. Or you punish yourself, right? He talks about the punish part, procrastinate or pause or punish, telling ourselves all the stories, right? All the stories that we tell ourselves, like that little child, that little kid that's coming up with all these stories of why that is so overwhelming to them. So I'm going to stop here for a second, and hold on. I'm going to come back to you so I can see your faces. I hope this is helping all of you. You guys can, is this helping? Like, is it really feeding you? You can really see yourself getting past all of this so that you can really own and shatter the glass of success, because you deserve it. You deserve it. I want to hear you say, I deserve it. Even if I see your mouse, you deserve it. I deserve it. God wants you to win in this life, but it's not going to be easy. Why do we think it's going to be easy? And the moment it gets hard, that's when all this stuff starts working its way up, right? So all the lies we tell ourselves, and I know that you know people like this, so don't be them, and help them grow and go in strength, right? Worry versus work. We talked about the worry, and what worry doesn't get you anywhere. It gets you in procrastination, actually. And if you just do the work, you're going to get the results. Just keep moving forward. Stay committed to continuing to move forward and do the simple actions like here in ACN. It is a simple system. You just have to put in the work, and it's consistency over time that gets you there. Consistency over time will get you there. That's why Mr. Thomas opens up with, how many of you have, what do you have? What do you have in? What do you got? You have, how many PBRs set? How many people are you bringing to the next event? You guys, that's the simple system. You just got to be consistent with it over and over. And no matter what happens, you keep going. You can pause for a minute. I've had to, right? I've had to in my life. I've had to pause for a minute. So you're powering up your faith. And what did he say? Did I not command you? He's talking about Joshua 1:9, which is the actual scripture attached to winged warrior. So what an affirmation for me, right? Did I not command you to be strong and courageous? Who's strong and courageous like that lion behind me? Who's gone through a lot in life, but gone over it and through it and is still here today? If you're still here, you're not done. If you're still here, you're not done. And that's important to know. So moving on, he talks about now you're on the edge, right? That forward lean. You're on the edge of getting to where you need to go when you understand these and you start applying it. It's this edge versus security. It's almost like that. Remember I think it was last week or the time of the one before, courage versus comfort. Well, this is the edge versus security. How many of you are okay to be insecure, unsecure, and have the courage, or now you have the edge because he's got you? And you're working through all of these things and you're making you're heading into your success story, success story. What are you building? Like what are the things that in your life, if you were to put mind, body, and soul, right, to your daily life, which one are you not building enough? Because I can tell you, you need to build your mind, you need to build your body for strength, and you need to build your spirit, your soul. All three of these things will help you get to the success you're looking for. And I'm going to stop here and tell you a story for a second. But one of the things that he did say, as you step, God gives you strength. Every step, you're going to get more strength, right? So when I talk about mind, body, and soul, it's also the steps that you take that give you strength. You have to move forward in them. It's always in the steps that gives us strength. Now you can say, I'm here, I'm ready, I go in strength. Forward, you got to go always forward. You know who says that in ACN? Mr. Greg Provenzano. Always forward, right? Don't stay stagnant. So let me tell you really quickly, because I'm going to show you a couple of slides, and then we're going to finish this up right here. What I'm going to tell you is in March of last year of 2023, that was a month after my husband passed away, I knew in my spirit that my body was going to break down if I didn't get back in the gym and hire a personal trainer, because I know for myself. And again, setting yourself up to be able to do these things is important. You got to get to the success to have the money to do these things, correct? And preparing the plan. But what I knew is I needed to call a personal trainer and I needed to get myself in that gym. And I have been consistent, and I've had this personal trainer for over a year now, working with her, even if it's just 2 days a week. And then she gives me stuff to do outside of that, because I know personally, I need a coach. How many of you know you need a coach? In business, it's important. I believe in personal training, it's important. In working out, if you're not consistent in training, getting yourself out there, taking walks, going climbing, doing hiking, whatever it is that will give you the strength, you got to build that muscle. So here's a video, because I actually hired her and I've been on my year journey with her, and I'm going to continue because I don't believe I could be here, giving this message and sharing what I'm sharing with all of you these last 4 weeks, if I didn't have that piece in my life, starting when I knew it hit my spirit, Jocelyn, in order to get through what you're going through, in order to do all that you need to do and continue to build your businesses, you're going to need your body to be strong. Does that make sense to all of you? Don't miss this piece, because that's a part of growing in strength. Okay. So here I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you a video of me just really quickly pushing through some hard stuff. Come on. Let's see here. There we go. Here it is. I say that's a fun fact. I'm living in victory because all of you should live in victory every single day and knowing you can do all things. You can see my sweatshirt, which is part of my brand, says grace on there. You've got to have the grit along with the grace. And it takes a lot to get yourself there. And you got to push and you got to show up. And you got to put all that stuff that we talked about behind you. It's important. So how many of you are ready to go and grow in strength and start building all the muscles that you need? Mind, you're here doing that. Body, right? So you can get up every morning and put your feet on the ground and the devil is scared of you. When you say, I'm going right now in strength and I'm going to go build this business, and I'm so excited for all of you doing all the work that you're doing. I'm so proud to hear all the results that you guys are getting. That's incredible. Pat yourself on the back and keep going and keep doing that, what you're doing. So not only you're building mind, body, spirit, now you're going to be building your boat to success, right? Your ship that we talked about and having the right anchor. That's part of my message, a couple weeks ago in the beginning. And so I will tell you, remember this. Noah, do you remember that ark and how long it took him to build it? Noah looked like an idiot, right? He looked like an idiot until it started to rain. You guys, it's going to rain, and it's been raining. As Mr. Thomas talked about the economy, set yourself up, keep going, let it rain, keep building. Don't beg anyone to get on your ark. Just keep building and let everyone know that the rain is coming. And that's what we're doing. Go in strength, and always remember, in case no one told you today, you're loved, you're smart, you're strong, you're beautiful. People need you. I'm glad you're alive. You're here for a reason. Your hard work, I promise you, will pay off. And never, never give up. I'm cheering you on. I'm excited for what's to come. I can't wait to see you at the next event in Cleveland, Ohio, and hear all the extra and more results that you guys are going to have, because you're going and growing in strength and you're building your future that you have prayed for and wanted. And God has designed it for you specifically. You have many gifts. Unlock them, because this is the time and you are with the right people. Just keep going. Love you guys. Thank you so much for having me here in the month of April. I'm really honored to work and walk alongside of each and every one of you. You are special, and just believe that.